Hey there, this is Akshay Madan and welcome back to a new video. And in this video, we are going to continue with the Matplotlib playlist. And in this video, we are going to see the bar plot. So from class 6 to 12, we have one chapter in common in mathematics book, that is the statistics. And we have this plot in that chapter, that is the bar plots. And that is super easy to learn, and I'm going to teach you in a very simple manner. So let's continue with the official definition of what is a bar plot. So it is a plot that represents categorical data with rectangular bars. Simple. So you remember that we have used to have the buildings in that plots, right? So they are called the bar plots, and we are going to implement that thing using Matplotlib, that is Python library for data visualization. So let's continue with Matplotlib using Google Colab. Perfect. So we are going to first of all import the important statements, that is matplotlib.pyplot and I have explained this statement in my first video, so you should follow my playlist in that manner only. Perfect. Then I'm importing NumPy and Pandas. They are the most beautiful libraries for data analysis, and you can't go deep into data science without these three libraries, right? Now, this style is totally up to you. I am using dark background and I have to cover this styles in my further video, right? So I have not forgotten that. Now, so I am using the dark backgrounds for my graphs, and now this is the data that I'm going to use for my bar plots, for drawing the bar plots, right? So first of all, there is a class, and the subjects are there: maths, English, science, social studies, and computer. And these are the marks scored by a student in these five subjects. Perfect. Now, how you can draw a bar plot? So as you can see, for drawing a bar plot, you need to use the Matplotlib. So the object is called PLT. So I'm calling that function using this object, that is plt.bar plot, and you have to provide x comma y. So x is subjects and y is marks. So to generalize this, I have to draw this graph, and x comma y, that is subject. So in x-axis, this is my x and this is my y, and in the x-axis, I'm going to have all my subjects. So this is my subjects list: maths, English, science. So maths, English, science, then SST, then computer, right? So this is the x, and in the y, what I'm having? This is y, this is x. In y, I'm having the mark. So it is going to plot a building for my maths, right, like this, and it is going to go till 89. So like this it will go till 89. Then for English, it is having marks 90, so it will go a little above, and it will go till 90. Then like this it is going to draw the bar plot. So I think from class 6 only we are studying this bar plots, and I don't think you will be having some confusion, right? Now we have written the code, and now let's see the output. So as you can see that I have drawn just now, and this is the buildings, and it is going till 89 because maths marks are 89, and like this, very simple, right? So this was a general bar plot, that we have built right now, right? Now how you can imply some more features and some more beautifying. I'm talking about beautifying your bar plot so that you can have a better visualization of your data, right? So let's go further, and first thing we are seeing the color. So you can change the color. You can change the color of all the buildings also, and you can do it one by one also, right? So first of all, I'm providing a single color to all the buildings, that is green. So color is equal to green, simple parameter, right? PLT dot show. Then after this, I'm going to provide a list of all the colors for different buildings. So for first building, I'm providing red, then blue for my second building, and like this, I'm providing five colors in a list. Perfect. And I'm going to give this list colors to my color parameter, right? So first of all, I was giving a simple color in string format, that is green, but now I'm giving it a list. So it is going to imply these colors in the same manner to all my buildings respectively. Perfect. Now coming to the next thing, that is width. So if me let me use the pen. So if you can see over here, this is the total width of the building, right? So this is the width, right? So, but now this parameter, that is width, is equal to zero point 0.6. It means that your building will cover only 60%, 60% of the width, right? So it is going to get contracted, and my building would be something like this only. I created a shit over here. Let me undo it. So it is going to be from here to here only. So it is going to skip the 40% of the total width, right? Let's see the output. So if you can see, the width of the building is little thinner, right? So this was the importance of this width. Perfect. So this was another parameter. So till now we have seen two parameters, that is color and width. And for color also, you can provide your own hexadecimal codes also. Perfect. Now coming to the next thing, if you want to provide a border to your building, so as you can see, I have provided over here, you have to write a parameter that is edge color. So this is one of the another parameters that you can use in your plt.bar function, that is edge color, and I have provided white. So let's change it this color to, let's say, orange, and I have to run the kernel again. So here, if you can see, the edge color is now of orange color. Perfect. Coming to the next thing, after this edge color, I'm having the line width. So I've given a border to my all my buildings, and now I'm going to increase the width of that border, and that can be done using this parameter, that is line width. So as you can see, the line width is little increased, so it is 4, right? Then coming to the next thing, that is, you can also change the style of that border. So as you can see, I've provided this dash dash, that means broken lines, dashed lines, and you can see the output, and it is perfect. And you can explore these different line styles, and it's totally up to you. And let's say I have put in dash and dot. Let's run it again. So as you can see, dash and dot, perfect. And you can explore different line styles, and you can also go through the official documentation of Matplotlib. Dot bar plot, perfect. Dot bar only, not plot, perfect. Now let's go to the next thing, and we have seen a beautifying of your plots a lot, and now let's go to different thing, that is how you can draw your bar plot in horizontal direction. So this is the plot where your buildings were in vertical direction. Now your buildings will be in horizontal direction, and that can be done by just inserting one character, that is h, after this bar. So plt.bar h, rest of the things will remain same, and you can get your data in the horizontal direction. So this is used when your data is having bigger quantities for your that like this. So if this is 100, and let's say if it was reaching till 1000, so for that, instead of having such a longer height graph, you can have it in this way, right? Because here we are having a lot of space, so that you can easify your visualization. Perfect. So this was the importance of this bar edge. Now let's go to different thing, that is plotting two plots on the same graph, right? So for that thing, I'm taking marks of another student. So these were the marks of first student. Now these are the marks of second student, and the subjects are same. Now I want to draw the bar plots on the same graph for these two students. Now if I do that by the general method, that is we were using for scatter plot and line plot, we were using this figure, and we were giving this figure size, and we were describing two statements, that is both the statements are same, but I'm changing the parameters. So plt.bar subjects will remain same, and marks 1 and marks 2. So if I'm doing like this, and I'm also providing x label and y label, so if I'm doing like this, I'm getting this kind of thing, that is the building is plotted on top of the previous building, right? But this can be easy, right? If this skin building is for marks number 1, and this blue building is for marks number 2, this can be easy. If I this can be your visualization, but there is one problem. If my blue building is smaller than the pink, skin building, it is not visible, like in social studies, where this blue building 90, not this one. So I think the skin building is for marks number 2. My bad. Skin building, that is this building, is for marks number 2. So as you can see, 78, 56, 34, and 12 are all smaller than this marks 1. So I think the skin building is for marks number 2. But this blue building is for marks number 1. So I can see that when my blue building, that is my marks 1, is less than marks 2, I can see that there is no blue building because it is hidden behind this skin building. Perfect. So that is the wrong thing which happens over here. You can provide an alpha, but that's not a good visualization, right? So I want these buildings to be side by side. If this is my skin building, it should take width 50%, and other 50% should be allotted to this blue building, right? So for doing that, you don't need to provide this two statements. In fact, you have to do it like this. So first of all, you need to get a variable which contains the length of the subjects list. So this is the subjects list, all the 5 subjects, and you have to store this length into a variable, that is subjects length, right? So it is going to store all the lengths of this variable, and it is going to get a range function, that is from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like this. And width is 0.4, that is 40%, right? So why I'm not taking 50%, because I also want to give some space between these different buildings of different subjects. So I've chosen this. So I've chosen this 40% space only, right? Now you have to provide this figure, and now you have to provide first statement which contains plt.bar, and it contains that same thing, but instead of having subjects, you're going to have subjects length. So if you can see, subjects are not shown over here, subjects index is shown over here, 0 1 2 3 4, like this. You can also put subjects length. You can do it by subjects add subject length. I'm going to show it, don't worry. Right, so this was the first bar plot, and it is going to take width as 40% only. So as you can see, this blue building is taking only 40% space, right? It is not even taking 50% of the space of this whole area, right? Now for the second statement, you have to provide subjects length plus width. So this 40% is added, so that this building, skin building, should start from the space after 40%, which is allotted to this blue building. So the skin building is going to leave some space for this blue building to be drawn. Perfect, I think I'm clear. And yes, so this was the significance of this width, right? So skin building is leaving some space for the blue building to be drawn. That's why my two buildings are adjacent now. One is not laying over another, right? And width is going to remain same for this second bar plot also, right? So this is how you can plot two plots on the same graph, right? So let's move further, and here I'm giving the color, different colors to my plots. So first, for first bar plot, I'm giving colors as colors, that same list that we have created, that red, blue, then green, I think, right? And for this, the second plot, I'm giving the same colors, but I'm giving 50% transparency, right? So that there should be some difference. So as you can see, this is my actual red, and this is the red with 50% accurate, 50% transparency, right? So I think this looks good. And now moving on to the next thing, that is plotting a bar plot from supermarket dataset. So I've taken a dataset from kaggle.com, so that you can also have an idea how you can use this bar plot with real life data, right? So I've just uploaded the dataset from my local machine, supermarket.csv, and I have provided this dataset in my repository also. Now I'm just reading the dataset as you do in pandas, and if I run it, so as you can see, there is an error. And how can we okay, I think the names are not the same. Let me copy this path and let me paste it over here. Let's run it. Yes, so this is the dataset I'm just printing the head of this dataset, that is 5 rows, and I can see that this dataset is containing so the customer's data from a supermarket. It is containing the city that belongs to the customer, and the customer type, whether the customer is a member or is a normal function, then gender, and like this, and which product he is purchasing, product line is there, then unit price is there, then time is, then rating that the customer has given to the supermarket service, this is there, right? So now I want to create a bar plot for this data for this payment column, right? So as you can see, there are three types of payment possible, modes of payment possible, that is e-wallet, then cash, and credit card, right? So now I want to build a bar plot showing how many customers are going for e-wallet, how many customers are going for cash, and how many customers are going for credit card, right? So for that thing, I'm creating a small data frame that is containing this payment, different three methods, and how many customers are there for this thing, and how you can do it using the pandas value counts function, right? So I'm doing it page.data frame, that is build a small data frame with this values, that is df at payment.value counts. So value counts means it is going to count all the values that are how it is going to count the number of counts, right? I think I'm not clear. How many people are going through these methods, right? So if A, B, C, and out of A, B, C, A is going for e-wallet, B is going for cash, and C is going for credit card. That means their value count is 1, 1, and 1, like this, right? So like this, e-wallet, that means 345 customers are going for e-wallet, 344 customers are going for cash, and 311 customers are going for credit card. Now I'm defining these colors, red, blue, and green, for three methods, and now I'm drawing a simple bar plot, plt.bar. Payment df at index means this e-wallet, cash, and credit card will be my x labels, right? So payment df at index, payment df at payment, that is payment df at payment, 345, 348, 311. Color is equal to colors. Now if I run this, so this is a small bar plot, and like this you can draw any kind of bar plot with as many features according to you, how much you want to beautify your bar plot for any kind of data set on Kaggle. So I will recommend you to go on kaggle.com and perform as many data and visualization you can do using the methods that we have studied till now. I think this much is enough for this video. Till the next content, keep coding, keep innovating, and thanks a lot.